Hello dear teachers. Now today we are going to learn how we are going to teach class 2 of the science. In the first class we have been talking about the life cycle of a butterfly. Today you will be teaching the students the life cycle of a sunflower plant. Now, before you getting into the book, you should help them understand or at least show them what is a sunflower. Now, sunflower are the flowers and it looks like this. Look at this picture. This is a sunflower. It has got a particular name in your Rohingya language, right? So tell it to the student, well, this is sunflower. Now, how this sunflower and its life cycle goes on, we will learn about that. Now, why we are discussing about it, let's just get into the things. The very first picture, the summary. In this picture, you will see the whole life cycle of the sunflower. Now, as we have talked, the thing will start from a story. You tell them the whole life cycle as a story. So what happens? We have the seeds of sunflower. And we take those seeds and we plant those seeds on the earth. Of course, not all the time we plant them. There are some particular time when you can plant those seeds. What happens after that? After that, a little sunflower tree grows. See, we call it the germinating seed. Look at this picture. The second phase is the germinating seed. Perhaps all of you have seen it. There's a little tree grows from the seeds and still the seed is attached with those leaves. That means the seed is not gone completely. That is the stage we call it the germinating seeds. In our language, in Bengali, we say it gajano. That means বীজগুলো কি হয় গাজানো হচ্ছে. See, when it's in this germinating stage, you see there are little roots and of course the seeds are attached to it, just like this picture. Now you may have some name in your native tongue, so you explain that in your language. Now after this germinating seed stage, we get the seedling. The seedling has only 2 leaves. How many leaves? 2 leaves. You can see it. If you watch a tree growing, you see that it starts from the seeds and then it becomes the germinating seeds and then it will get 2 leaves. And this is the very first stage of becoming a tree. So this first stage we call them the seedling stage. Seedling stage. So that is basically the seedling stage. Now for the sunflower tree, after the seedling stage, it keeps growing. It has got 2 to 4 leaves, then the leaves grows to 6, 8 and then it becomes a little or young tree. This young tree has got a bud. What's the bud? Bud is the beginning of a flower. This is the root of flower from which we get the flower. Look at this. This is a bud. We call them in Bengali, it's a kuri. Now you may have some name in your native tongue. explain or tell the students in that language so that they understand it. Now the tree has got the bud and it is completely ready to grow more, and it keeps growing, and this bud keeps growing as well. Now look at this one. This is the complete sunflower tree. This bud grows and the flower blooms. What happens to the bud? It blooms and becomes the flower. What is blooming? The flowers, they blooms like this. Okay, there are some videos you can watch on the YouTube how the flower blooms, or perhaps I will give you some link of those videos. Watch those videos, you will know what is blooming. Blooming is just starting of a flower that keeps growing and become a complete or mature flower. Now at this stage of sunflower tree, we call them a mature plant. A mature plant. Now everything has an expiry date, right? Once the expiry date of the sunflower comes, it starts dying. All the leaves of the plant they get dried and the flower keeps dying. After that only the seeds remains. So from the dying sunflower we get the seeds again. From one seeds we get one sunflower trees, and from one sunflower we get many seeds. And this is how the life cycle of sunflower keeps going on. That's how you tell the story. Should I recap it? Let me just recap the whole story in a summary. Look at this. First we put the seeds on the soil and we get the seeds or germinating seeds. Yes, we get the germinating seeds, and from the germinating seeds we get the seedlings. The seedlings has got two leaves, remember. Yes, the seedlings has got two leaves. Then it grows and become a young plant. Young plant, and it has got a bud with it. What is it? Young plant with a bud. This bud keeps growing, these young plants keep growing, and it becomes a mature plant. And this stage, the sunflower, it blooms. Yes, we get the beautiful sunflower. Now after that the sunflower starts to die and the leaves of the tree keeps drying. It becomes dry leaves, and one day the plant dies, and from that plants or dying plants we get new seeds. If we plant them we get more sunflower trees. This is how the life of a sunflower tree moves on, keeps going on. Most of the trees have the similar life cycle. Okay, so you tell it to the students. Once you have told the whole scenario or whole thing as a story, as the life cycle of the sunflower plant, then you move to the explanation. And what you do, you tell them there are 6 stages of the life cycle of a sunflower. How many stages we have? 6 stages. What are these stages? Seeds. Seeds become germinating seeds. The germinating seeds become seedlings. The seedlings become young plant, and the young plant become the mature plant, and the mature plant becomes the dying plant. These are the 6 stages. Remember and try to make sure that the students remember this section. How many stages the life cycle of a sunflower has? It is 6 stages, and the students they should know this name of these stages. I know they will not be able to memorize all the things that you will be teaching here, but this is the basic. They should remember the 6 stages of the life of the sunflower trees. Did you get me? I hope you have got me. Now let's get started how you're going to teach these 6 stages one by one. So what was the very first stages? It's the seeds. Okay, now it's time for the students to learn about the seeds. How does the seeds looks? Let's just see. We'll start from here. Now look at this. What are the things we have written here? There are some sentences written here. We are saying that the life of a sunflower starts from a seed. We have already told it, right? But still you tell them in your native tongue and read the sentence like this. The life of a sunflower starts from a seed. সানফ্লাওয়ারের জীবন শুরু হয় সিড থেকে বা বীজ থেকে. This is how you explain it in your Rohingya language. The next one you will say the seeds of the sunflower is black. তাহলে এই যে বিচিগুলো বা বীজগুলো সানফ্লাওয়ার এটা দেখতে কালো. You explain it in your language. Now this seeds has got a shell around it and this shell protect it from the bad weather. You read these sentences, you make your own translation and translate it for the students. So do it together. First read the English sentence, then say them the Rohingya language. They will then understand it better. So first make sure they understand the Rohingya language. All the sentences they at least remember in your native language. Then if they read it at home, it will be easier for them to recall what is this thing saying about. Did you get me? Okay, now it's saying we plant the seed during the springtime. Springtime. Remember, it's the spring season. You tell them that during the spring season we plant the seeds of sunflower. Because sunflower grows in the warm weather. Warm weather. Now that is the very first stages, seeds. Now go to the next one. The second stage is germinating seeds. Once we put the seed on the soil, it takes around 3 to 10 days to germinate the seed. That means after you put the seeds on the soil, it takes 3 days or sometimes it takes 10 days. Within this, or some will take 4, some will take 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And in this 10 days, the germinating seeds will come out. Germination is the sprout. Germination is the sprout. That's the little thing we are talking about. Little roots that comes out of the seed. It's the sprout. Now, during the germinating stages, what happens? Let's just see. Look at this picture. Can you see the thing? This is stem comes out. What is this? This is what we call stem. What is it? Stem. এটাকে বলা হয় কাণ্ড বা stem in English. So you teach it in your native tongue. This is, see, still the seed is not removed completely. How does this long or strong shells of the seed becomes this? The strong shells, it become softer when we put them in the soil. Do you see? It is soft and then the trees grow. It sends some roots at the soil. So it sends some roots at the soil and send a stem above the soil, just like this. The stem is above the soil and there is a root beneath the soil. It sends a root down the soil. So you explain the whole thing, all the sentences, you read them and then explain it in your Rohingya language. I'm just giving you the idea how you could do it. It takes 3 to 10 days to germinate the sunflower seeds. তো সানফ্লাওয়ার সিড জার্মিনেট হতে বা গাজাতে 3 থেকে 10 দিন সময় নেয়। জার্মিনেশনের মাধ্যমে কি হয়, ছোট ছোট গাছ বা গাজানো মূল বের হয়। আমরা এই শক্ত যে বীজটা দেই, এই বীজটা মাটির নিচে দেওয়ার সাথে সাথে এটা কি হয়ে যায়, এটা নরম হয়ে যায়, it becomes softer. This germination is the starting. This is the starting of the sunflower seed. Do you remember? Germination is the starting of the sunflower seed. Now during this stage the seeds send a root to the ground. এই সময় কি করে, সে একটা মূল বা শিকড় কি করে মাটির ভিতরে দিয়ে দেয়, আর একটা কাণ্ড কি করে, স্টেম or একটা কাণ্ড, it just send it to the above or to the upper ground. Do you understand it, how you're going to teach this stage? Now once you have done it, go to the next stage. The next stage is the seedling stage. It's the third stage. Now at this stage you see the small leaves, they start growing. We get 2 leaves and then we get 4 leaves, then we get more leaves and it keeps growing. During the warm weather, if the weather is very warm, this growth becomes faster. But if it is not warm weather, the growths are slower. Sometimes it takes weeks. You tell it like this story and then read those sentences that are given and then translate it in your Rohingya language. This is how you keep teaching the stages actually. But let me go through all the stages in a brief, okay? The next stage of the sunflower life is the young plant. Well, it takes around 30 days or a month to grow. That means the seedling keeps growing for 30 days. That means the on leaves after another leaves after another leaves and the tree keeps growing. Even the stem, it keeps growing. This is the stage, we call them the young plant, and it takes around 30 days to become this young plant. And during this stage, the very basic or base of the flower or the starting of the flower can be seen. What is this? We call them the bud. Look at this picture. We have given it here. This is the bud. Look at this. This is the bud of the sunflower trees. And from this bud, the sunflower tree or the sunflower itself grow. That means the flower, the beautiful flower we see, it comes from this bud. Isn't that amazing? Yes, but this bud grows, it takes time. That means the seedling keeps growing for 30 days and it gets the bud. And then it is the basic or beginning of the sunflower. And at this point of time, when the bud is grown, the tree begins to mature. That means it becomes more older. এটা আমাদের মতো কি হতে থাকে, বড় হয়ে যেতে থাকে. So you explain it in your Rohingya language, but make sure you read all these sentences and the students, they also read these sentences just like this. The seedling grows for 30 days to become a young plant. ছোট বাচ্চা গাছটা কি করতে থাকে 30 দিন ধরে বড় হতে থাকে বড় হয়ে কি হয় একটা ইয়াং প্লান্টে পরিণত হয় now you speak or tell it in your native language after that we get the mature plant the mature plant that means we get the flower blooms in this stage okay we get the flower and it keeps blooming and the trees is more mature at this stage you can see there are many flowers just like this picture when we plant them the sunflowers they are blooming and the whole land it seems very beautiful have you seen them I hope you have seen them it's really beautiful now that is the mature stage of the sunflower now you do the same you read those sentences like this the flower bloom in this stage that means ফুলগুলো কি করে এই সময় ফুটতে থাকে the flower blooms once the blooming is done যখন এই ফুলের ফোটা শেষ হয়ে যায় তখন এই ভিতরে কি হয় the seeds keeps growing once the blooming is done the seeds inside this flower it keeps growing and once the seeds are grown that is the final stage of sunflower's life during this stage the sunflower keeps dying the flower petals they keeps drying and the seeds I have told the seeds were growing now they start becoming mature seeds all the trees that the leaves has it keeps growing dry that means the leaves they do not have any green left in them it keeps become grayish the color of the leaves become grayish they become dry and the seeds they are ripening in my tongue it's saying paka so whatever you have got in your language you just tell them the seeds start ripening at that stage the petals they goes wet or they keeps drying you cannot see the beauty or the yellow petals anymore and the seeds once the seeds are completely ripened the trees dies all the trees dies and if we take those seeds and plant them again the life cycle begins again that's it that is how the life cycle of this sunflower is going on and on now after you have finished this lesson give them some break ask them to go through the whole things again review it read the sentences in English and make translation again and then you go to the exercise there are some true and false given you ask it the students to fill it but before you do so you tell them the meaning of these sentences then they will understand whether this is true or this is false okay so you go through the sentences tell them the meaning of these sentences then ask them to do it okay just like this seeds are planted in the soil তাহলে বীজকে আমরা কোথায় বপন করি বীজকে আমরা মাটিতে বপন করি you explain it in your native language পরেরটা বলছে the second one is saying the flower blooms when it is young ফুল তখনই ফোটে যখন এটা কি থাকে যখন এটা young থাকে once the seeds are ripened the plant dies যখন বীজগুলো পেকে যায় তখন কি হয় গাছটা মারা যায় you explain it in your native tongue পরের sentence the next sentence is saying it takes 1 week to grow a young plant একটা young plant grow হতে মাত্র 1 সপ্তাহ বা 7 দিন দরকার হয়। The next one, germination is not the seeds sprout. জার্মিনেশনের সময় সিড স্প্রাউট করে না বা ছোট ছোট গাজানো মূল বের হয় না। So you explain it in your native tongue. Go through these sentences, tell them the meaning of it, then ask them to put the tick here. If it is true, you tick here, and if it is not true, you tick here. Now, did you understand it? This is the second class of science. Yes, once you have done it, once the exercise is done and the student have understood how the life of this sunflower grows or goes on, you end the class. Don't make it fast. Take it slow, slow and slow. The student will learn easily. See, it's not so hard anymore, is it? Thank you.